Hello fellow teachers, in this video I'm going to show you how to utilize Google Forms to do online attendance and to create practice quizzes. So I'm already logged into my Google account. Here is our Google Apps symbol here. I'm going to click on it and we're going to go into Drive. I'm going to click on New, and we don't see Google Forms here. It's actually kind of hidden away. It's under More and then Google Forms. You can do it from a template or from blank. I'm just going to do it blank. All right, and so here's our form. So for this first one, we'll do attendance. All right. And this is pretty simple. We just do things like, what period are you in? All right, but rather than multiple choice, we can do a drop down. And so you put in the periods that you teach, 2, 3. I'm using tab to quickly go through my different options. Okay. And then I want to mark this as required. I want they have to answer this before they can move on to the next question or before they can submit. Now I'm going to hit plus. Okay. And I'm going to do if you have a small number of students, you can do another drop down and type your student's name yourself. If you have a lot of students, you probably don't want to do that. So I'm going to do first name. And I'm going to change this to, well, it automatically recognized that and changed the short answer for me. I'm going to require this. And this time I'm going to duplicate rather than do a new one. Duplicate, and we'll just change this to last. Got first name and last name. And that's all I'm going to do for this. If we want to preview it, we can do that. We can see what it's going to look like. So here's what the dropdown looks like. Here's first name, last name. I'm going to hit send. By default, it does email, but we can click on this symbol. This is link. So I can copy this link and I can paste it into Edmodo or Google Classroom or onto your own websites, which is what I'm going to do just to show you what that looks like. So I have a website going here. I'm going to paste it right here. And now when I click on attendance, this shows up. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this out really fast so we can see what the results look like. All right, and just to show you really fast, you can also embed this so that it doesn't link over. It will embed directly into the website. I'll show you what it looks like. And then it'll be directly into the website. I don't tend to do that though. But it's not. Anyway, so let's come back over here. Now we can go into responses. And we can see through the responses. This isn't particularly helpful. But what is nice, I can click here on Create Spreadsheet. And this will create a spreadsheet by the same name of whatever I called this form, which I didn't title it. I should have. And it will put it in the same folder if you have a folder going. I'm going to hit Create. And it will go ahead and pull it up for us. And what's nice about this is you see all the results here, and it timestamps it. So I know exactly it's in military time. You might have to translate it, but otherwise you know exactly when your students filled out this form. And then this is a normal spreadsheet. I can, arrange these, sort these out, by period, by name, do a search by date. And this will be in my Google Drive now, right next to wherever I save that. Let's do another one for a practice quiz. All right, now the trick to this is I want to come into the settings. No, the gear icon. Settings. All right. And I want to go into presentation. What I like to do for practice quizzes is show question order. That means that every time that someone views this, it's going to be in a new order of questions, so you can't just memorize the order of questions. If I click on quizzes, I can make this a quiz. You can release the grade immediately or later. And then respondents can see this is so that what do you want them to be able to see at the end of the quiz? Do you want to mark out the correct answers for them? You want to show them the missed questions? For practice quizzes, I tend to leave this as is, or maybe I'll take off the correct answer, because the next time they take it, they still have to figure it out. All what they did is ruled out one bad answer. So I like to take that off. And we'll hit save. I'm going to make this required, and I'm going to click the little menu here, and I'm going to do shuffle option order. That way, not only are the questions in a different order every time someone takes this quiz, the questions are too. So it makes it really difficult to cheat on the person next to you, or to just memorize the order of answers. So we'll just do, something like 2 plus 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what I need to do is click on answer key, and then choose the right answer. And I can add answer feedback or not. You can do feedback for incorrect answers or correct answers. I'm going to leave that alone though, and done. On answer key, right here we have a point value. This should be worth a point. Now my quiz is worth a total of 1 point so far. Now that I have this set up the way that I want it, with the shuffled options, I'm going to, and the answer key at 1 point, I'm going to duplicate this question. And now I can make a small change, 3 plus 2. Now I have to change the answer key from 4 to 5. Okay. And now every time someone takes this quiz, these will be in a different order. The answers will be in a different order. There is a catch to this. If you want to add like a picture and then ask a question about the picture, there's no guarantee that the question following it will go after that picture. There is a way to fix that though. So let's go ahead and add an image. Let's just do this picture that I happen to have there. And then we're going to add a question after this. All right. Who is this? We'll leave this short answer. Now, if I preview this, right, notice that they stuck the picture first, and then it actually did do who is this after that. That was just coincidence though. It could have been any of these other questions. So what I want to do is I want to make sections. Right here on this menu, which is kind of disappearing, but the last option right here, it says add section. You can name different sections, or you can just leave it blank. If I just erase that, after section 1, continue to the next section. So you have different options here. So you can set it up so that, like, if I choose answer A, I go to this section. If I choose answer B, I go to that section. We're just doing this as a way to use the picture and the question together. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag it into below section 2, and then who is this? Drag that underneath, and then I'm going to create another new section, and again, I'm going to leave it blank, and now we'll duplicate one of these questions. Alright, and so now the way that this will work is it will shuffle the questions before this section. And then when it hits this section, everything in this section, where's my other section? You're supposed to be down here. Okay, when it hits this, it will only shuffle these two things. And then it will go on to the next section, and it will shuffle all the questions after this. Now, if I said something like, who is in the picture above, that might not work out because these two things can get swapped. So it's better to keep it generic like this. Let's preview this. So we'll see this is the first section. And when I hit next, so sometimes this will be on top, sometimes it'll be underneath, but because it's one section, they'll stay together. And then it'll take me to the last section, and I'll see all those questions at once in a random order. All right, so let's go ahead and send this. And once again, you can do it as a link or as an embed. I'm going to copy this, put it in a website, and we can see it in action. I click here. This one wasn't graded, but you can assign point values to text-based answers as well. Hit the last one and do submit. Okay, and then I can view my score, and it will show me. And if you have it, the correct answers chosen, like right here, I chose wrong. If you have that correct answers option chosen, it will show me which one was correct. I like to leave it unchecked because now this person has to, figure out which one of these three is the right answer the next time they take it, and they can't just memorize the order of questions if there's a whole big list of questions there. And we can go back into this, and we're going to change over to responses and create a spreadsheet. And once again, we can see the responses here. Now, what I forgot to do was put name on it. If you're going to ask your students to take a quiz, the first question should be, what is your name? I would tend to do that here, like your name, and then you can do your period and or whatever questions you want to ask that are generic, and do a section after this so that this appears first. And then a section with no name, and then they'll do their name first, and then it will jump into the actual questions. Anyways, here's the spreadsheet that it creates, so you can see the names and the scores, and you can sort all this. And yeah, so that's it. That's all I wanted to show you for this, of how to use Google Forms.